Okay, next we have piety. Creon, in the text, he states, perhaps they will show her an escape from death, or she may learn, though late, that piety shown the dead is pity in vain.
Sophocles lived thousands of years ago. Why is it still pertinent for a student today to study Antigone?
Oh my goodness, that is like one of those questions that I'm asked all the time. And it just goes to the principles that are taught in Antigone and Oedipus. They're just these ideas that come up through every generation. Is the world surrounded by fate, or is it free will? Like, what is it? Do we make our own choices, or is it something outside of our knowledge that is directing our path?
What do we call that? When you say something, or you tell other people to do something, but you do the exact opposite.
He's a hypocrite.
There you go. Because he's saying we need to honor the gods, but yet the gods would ask you to bury your dead.
I had a philosophy instructor that I loved, and I had a history teacher that I loved, and an English teacher that I loved. Miss Barney, Mrs. Morris, and I believe Mr. Blake. And they just had so much passion, and I wanted to do what they did. I wanted to instill like that passion and get young people just learning and wanting to know more about the world. And so I think that's where it started. And then both of my parents were educators in their own right. My mother, she got her doctorate in theology, and she was always teaching at universities. And my father has his master's in criminal justice. So it was just always instilled that you should be a lifelong learner, and we should always be encouraging those around us to do the same. And I just wanted to take that mantle up on myself.
In schools all across the United States, the demographics of the students does not match, for the most part, the demographics of the staff. How do we encourage more students of color to become teachers?
The research states that if you can start getting those students at the younger ages within the community. So like right now, here at RHS, I need to be talking to the freshman kids and saying like, you know what, being a teacher is a really, really exciting career, and you're giving back to the community. So if we can get those kids of those diverse backgrounds early on, maybe even in elementary, setting up programs where they can maybe have like a buddy teacher and just learn the ins and outs of what it means to be a teacher. I feel that those kids will come back because they'll feel ownership in their community, and they'll come back and want to be teachers.
One of the courses you teach is African American literature.
Yes.
How do you try to further fire the imagination of students through teaching that class?
Yes, I think first of all I have to go back to my past, where a lot of the things that I learned when I was 16 and 17 were not really being taught in my classes. Like I would hear it from teachers kind of like on a sidebar conversation when we were talking about, let's say Malcolm X. When I was in high school, the Malcolm X movie came out, and so that sparked a revolution of young people wanting to read Malcolm X and the Edgar Hoover files and all these different Black Panthers, and just explore that. And so I think that when I saw that, I wanted to give that to the kids nowadays, because they don't always have that. They don't have access to learning about all these different minority leaders from the past. And so that really, really just put the fire under me to go and just spread it and show them like how interesting it is. And not only that, you could, the LGBT community, and then you have women's literature that is not always taught. We can do that in African American lit as well.